I, F34, thought I was happily married. I have 2 kids with my husband, M37. We went to my female cousin's wedding this summer and my husband drinks socially for weddings and large gatherings, so this is not the norm for him. He drank so much at the wedding though it's not an excuse. After the wedding we went back to the hotel and started having cuddles immediately. When he went inside me he started saying, "Your cousin is so hot, I'm going to fudge you like I'm sleeping with her." I literally went numb. I could not enjoy the cuddles, and he literally gave me the best cuddles of our entire marriage, but I was dead inside. The next day he didn't remember anything. I mentioned it to him a few days later because we have cuddles pretty much every single day for the past 7 years being married. I could stomach sleeping with him, and he knew something was wrong because we're very affectionate. I told him I couldn't look at him the same. He said sorry blah blah. Apparently he wasn't that drunk to remember what he said. I haven't told anyone, but every day I fantasize of straight up leaving him, and when I have cuddles with him I completely blank out and pretend it's not him. It's been a few months and I haven't told him. Other than this, he's my dream husband, and I'm so torn if I should divorce. Update. A bit more information to add since I'm repeating myself. He is the only person I've ever had cuddles with right out of college. So my attachment is strong. My libido used to be high and now our cuddles every night is usually him just straight up just him enjoying himself. He apologized so many times, wants therapy and gets emotional not understanding why I can't enjoy cuddles with him. I tried 3 solo therapy sessions and they just say, "Forgive because it's not infidelity and can be resolved in communication." For some reason cuddles is a trauma for me now, and I can't stop thinking about it no matter how great our day is. Divorce seems freeing but seems chaotic and obvious a dramatic choice over this. Yes, my cousin is hot, but so are my 7 other girl cousins. Now family functions with holidays coming up seem terrifying. Also, I'm very attractive too. I'm just not 24 anymore. My cousin's age, again, I haven't shared my current feelings with him in months because I'm embarrassed and don't want to bring it up again. I know it's insecure and I don't want to look insecure, I'm just mentally and physically unwell. Update. Part 2. Last night we didn't have cuddles. I slept good but had to think about everyone's comments. Some made me laugh, some challenged me. My husband hugged me and didn't initiate cuddles for the first time and kissed me and said, "I know something is not okay with you, and I'm praying for you, and it hurts to see you in pain." Didn't make me feel better, seriously feel the same inside. Going to talk to him tonight. Also to counseling this week with him, and stop having cuddles until I feel safe and forgive him. I need to heal. I'm a hot girl spiraling. Never judge a book by its cover. People see me and think my life is perfect and I'm lucky. I'm numb inside just wanting to feel loved again. I hope there's hope around the corner. I have been completely destroyed mentally and now physically. Please give me some grace, and if you want to knock me down, at least make it humorous. I know people have it worse, but pain feels the same at the end of the day. If this breaks us, then I truly pray there are men out there that actually understand how delicate intimacy is. Relevant comments. Commenter. This is the start of resentment. OP. Yes, I know it is sadly. I'm trying to get advice if resentment heals over time by talking it out through months of therapy with him or just leaving. Feels like the option clears my mind. But of course that horrible option comes with thousands of new changes that I never wanted interrupted. I truly love my life with him. Just the cuddles and the memory is painful, or is resentment more painful? OP is being re-traumatized every time when she does something with her husband. OP. I'm starting to realize by these responses that is exactly what is happening to me. Also, he will have cuddles with me sometimes when I'm asleep, then I wake up to him having cuddles with me. Because I'm not the same anymore desiring it and initiating it. I'll wake up and go along with it and just enjoy what I can. I'm sorry, I'm a broken human right now. This is my first person to have cuddles with. I've been with only one man right out of college, then married for 7. It's truly difficult for my mind just to stop cuddles. I know it's fucked up what I'm doing too by ignoring it. Commenter. Wow. Ick, how you could ever truly get over that. The safe space and intimacy between you two is completely gone. I mean, to find someone else attractive is completely normal, but what he said while inside of you and continued to imagine her while giving you the best cuddles ever during your marriage would make me want to vomit. I'd lose all attraction to him, and the only way I'd ever want to even be around him or intimate is if there was a way to build that level of trust again. Maybe counseling can help things. Are there other issues in the marriage? I can't imagine that this egregious slip of the tongue is an isolated incident. You deserve so much better. At the very least, a partner that doesn't announce he is going to pretend you're someone else while he gets himself off using your body. OP. Best comment. Well, that's the problem. This is our first exposed, isolated moment. Which makes me physically ill because I'm thinking all the time, wait, what does he really think? Is there more in hiding? I question everything now. He's very apologetic and wants to have counseling. He's very affectionate and knows something's wrong for a while, and tries hard to help me by being more affectionate. However, I can live a happy marriage all day long. It's strictly during cuddles I mentally freeze and feel like I'm with a stranger and violated. I have to think of everything else and just accept the pleasure aspect. It's painful because we used to have such a strong love/friendship through intimacy. I can't stomach explaining to people why we divorced. I feel trapped. But also I don't know how a counselor can help me push through. I've read so much and did 3 solo sessions. I know it all stems from forgiveness, but I have like a trauma memory almost. I understand it's normal to find others attractive. I can easily tell him someone else is. But during an intimate moment talking about my cousin, who just got married, that I have to be a part of her life forever. It's gut-wrenching. I don't know how to move forward. I don't want to get a divorce and then this be a struggle with someone else. I also think, are all men like this? Update. I, F34, spoke with my husband, M35. It did not go well. I'm completely blindsided. I'm really appreciative of everyone's opinions and perspectives. However, it was more than I can emotionally or mentally handle. He was very remorseful about the first situation. My husband said he wanted to fudge my cousin that was so hot after her wedding. As he shared that info inside me, then proceeds to fudge me like that because, well, he enjoyed it and felt like the best cuddles of his life, and mine too. Though I was completely traumatized. He is so sorry that it hurts me to this day, but totally gaslit me and thinks I'm immature and needs to move on. That I've said hurtful stuff and doesn't matter the depth of subject, that all hurts are equal. Then he starts crying how sorry he is and that it pains him how he hurt me and want our marriage to be restored. He completely diminished my feelings when I shared more after that and acted like I needed to get over it. It gets worse. He proceeds to tell me what I already know, but it gets worse, that of course it's normal to find other people more attractive. He thinks I'm very beautiful, but he actually thinks like this a lot, and though he tries to enjoy making love with me. Yes, he sometimes thinks of other women he's fudged in college, my friends, my cousins, and occasionally corn girls he saw online prior to marriage. He knows it's wrong and is a man working on his sinful desires. His words. Those are his intrusive thoughts he needs to battle against to make sure he loves me better and makes me feel desired. Thank you for cutting the knife deeper and extending the list. Whoa, gut-wrenching. I'm shaking typing this. He wants to get help for our marriage and willing to go to counseling. Only it's done through our church. Again, I only disclosed to some comments. Yes, we're Mormon, and it's very much like forgive and move on. No doubt there is a lot of work in those sessions, but I feel like it's a scapegoat for him. He doesn't think the counseling needs to be centered around this topic, but more of my resentment and unforgiveness issues. He thinks I'm the problem and had no issues vocalizing that I need a lot of healing. Not from him, well, that I'm basically crazy. He also mentioned maybe my issue stems from not having a good dad in my life. Smiley face. I'm sorry, but I was not thinking about my father while you fudged me pretending it was my cousin. He then states, why is this coming out of nowhere? I proceed of sharing honesty in Reddit, becoming my help to my voice. Whoa, now he's very mad. How could I share such intimate details with strangers? I know it's wrong, but of course now I'm a crazy woman and he's super hurt that I did that and doesn't know how he can forgive me for that. I bring up the cuddles. I told him I feel uncomfortable and numb. I think it's highly disturbing he fingers me to find my hole, then inserts his dick in me while I'm sleeping, and that more than 20 plus times I either accept it and just lay there with my eyes closed, or I'm awake to enjoy the pleasure, and he will continue till he comes from dodgy position every time, then rolls over and snoozes. He says, sorry, I will never do that again since it makes me uncomfortable. He thought it was consensual since it's been happening like that all summer. I said, well, I have been unwell mentally and didn't voice it. He then says he finds it offensive and disturbing I called it rape, and that he is not dominating and I need help for using those words. He thinks we should separate and doesn't want to talk to me. Smiley face. He thinks it's better we don't talk because he doesn't like fighting and my mean words and accusations. He said he's willing to make it work if I seek help from the church and go to counseling. That I'm the one with serious issues because he already said sorry the one time. I go very angry and called him a f***ing asshole and was yelling at him and crying. He walked out the room and said he's not dealing with me. I followed him, and he said it's best we don't talk unless it's front of a counselor and told me to get away from him. He said when we didn't have cuddles last night, he was concerned how I looked, that he prayed for me. He's concerned I need help. Suggested I read my Bible, go for a walk, and learn to forgive quickly because the hate in my heart is really unattractive. He also suggested we try for a baby this month because he wants more kids, so to forgive him soon, so we don't miss that opportunity, then proceeds to stonewall me. He is completely offended that I don't think he loves me or cares for me, that he's human and makes mistakes. I need to get over it immediately that I am destroying our marriage and intimacy. Conclusion. I am apparently a not-so-hot spiraling girl. I'm very shocked. I didn't think I could be more hurt. I'm with a complete narcissist, cruel, and manipulative man. This is not who I'm married to all day. He is loving, kind, affectionate, and such an incredible dad. Does After Dark leave me with his other side? Does he have a side I don't know that revealing itself through this situation? Should I be concerned? I'm so confused after this whole conversation how now I'm the bad person and he's the saint concerned for me. I'm feeling like I'm just his release to come and his companion for life's normal box checking. But I don't think he truly loves and cares for me, which hurts worse than his confessions. I will be definitely seeking counseling by myself and with him, but with a third party not from church. Let's see if this ends in divorce or can be restored. I'm completely broken. Please tell me there are men who don't think like this. Men, please answer me, is this completely insane or him, or am I truly the wild one? If you respond, please do so with kindness. I'm really unwell right now. Also, please mention if you're married if commenting so I can understand your opinion. Original post is on my page. Because someone, probably my husband, keeps reporting me. If you can't see the original viral post, which I keep getting messages about it being taken down, I can share screenshots. Just message me. I'm truly embarrassed, but this situation online has helped me so much and revealed so much truth. Update. Yes, I'm getting a lawyer and seeking a psychologist tomorrow. Thanks for all the concern. Edit. I'm usually great at responding, but I'm going to stop now and just reflect. I'm reading every single message and it's so helpful, challenging, and uncomfortable. I appreciate every one of you no matter your stance. It brought me to a place that saved myself. I never thought nor wanted to be here, but it's life. I can't not respond because I'm very unwell and mentally can't handle it. I will focus on myself and children while navigating from a licensed psychologist, not church-affiliated, and a lawyer who is also not church-affiliated. Thank you. I hope you understand that I'm now processing the pain of the above convo and will for time to come. I no longer have the capacity to communicate back with each comment, though it helped so much earlier. I'll continue to read every single comment. By the way, staying in my guest bedroom locked. No worries, he is treating me like I do not exist. It's disturbing, but the isolation is necessary. Relevant comments. Commenter. Divorce, divorce, and divorce. OP. I know. I just can't think straight right now. I need therapy for my sanity and to be walked through this properly solo. I truly can't think straight for a divorce right now. I'm too fragile. This man will rip the rug under me in this state of mind. Of course, I have hope in it working out and him getting help for his disturbing viewpoint. But I'm too in shock to spend the time dissecting that. I know. In reality, divorce makes the most sense now. I have children. I have a million things to think about now. Commenter 2. He's gaslighting the absolute hell out of you. Jesus Christ. OP. I know I'm out of words. I was not expecting this. Commenter 3. I'm Mormon. Everything he said is not okay. You don't need the church, you need a divorce. This goes beyond. I was drunk and slipped about liking your cousin. This is toxic. If he is Mormon too, then why is he drinking? It sounds like a double life going on. Using the church to keep up his image. If he assaulted you, that's grounds for excommunication. He has many issues, and the gaslighting is absolutely a tactic to flip all this on you and make you feel guilty. Fudge him and his "I'll pray for you" bullshit. My husband would never ever act this way with me. And if he did, I would leave him too. The way your husband is talking is scary and dangerous. Also, he could very likely be into corn. His cuddles, drive, and fantasizing can be normal, but his hostility towards you and defensiveness screams corn addict to me. OP. I have no desire to dissect his addiction or reasonings behind anything because he truly feels like he's not in the wrong and anything he did wrong is forgivable and I need to move on. He took me on a roller coaster of crying, pleading, yelling, screaming, laughing at me, and then stonewalling me all in one conversation. But I'm crazy? I'm crazy in the fact I was stupid to wait this long and not deal with this sooner. Yes, he shouldn't drink, but does on occasion. A lot of Mormons secretly do, then regret it. Clearly, it's not a drinking problem, but a cuddles issue. At this point, I don't care if he watches corn. It's completely wrong. Everything he says is wrong. I care about my well-being. The stress on my body today is painful. Update. I, F34, confronted my husband, M37, again, and it somehow got even worse. After everything that's happened, I didn't think there was much more that could shock me. But here we are. I went into the conversation hoping for some kind of breakthrough, something that would at least explain his behavior, give me a reason to hold on, maybe even a tiny bit of hope that we could salvage our marriage. Instead, it turned into one of the most surreal nights of my life. I decided to take a break from Reddit for a few days to gather my thoughts, read your comments, and mentally prepare for another confrontation with him. I felt like I needed to lay everything out there, so I did. I told him how dead inside I felt for months now, how his confession about my cousin completely gutted me, how I've been in a downward spiral ever since, and how I honestly don't even know who I'm married to anymore. His reaction? Total and complete deflection. Like Olympic-level gymnastics of avoiding the point. First, he said that I was overreacting, that it was just one dumb mistake, and that I was making it into something bigger than it needed to be. He actually laughed when I brought up the fact that he regularly initiates sex with me while I'm asleep. Laughed. "What couple doesn't do that?" he said, like it's completely normal to treat your wife like an inanimate object. Then, it got weirder. He doubled down on the idea that I'm the one with the problem. He went on this bizarre rant about how I'm clearly not in touch with myself, and that I'm projecting all my own insecurities onto him. I swear, he threw in phrases he probably picked up from random podcasts about self-love and feminine energy. Like, am I supposed to go on a retreat and meditate my way into forgiving him for fantasizing about my cousin during sex? But the kicker? The absolute cherry on top? He suggested we open up our marriage. Yup, out of nowhere. He casually dropped this bomb like it was the most logical next step. He even said it might help me feel desired again if I explored other options. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. At first, I thought he was joking, but nope, he was dead serious. And the worst part? He tried to make it sound like he was doing this for me. Like, "Hey babe, you're clearly not happy with me, so why not sleep with other people and we can both just move on?" I've never felt more devalued in my entire life. I honestly think he's trying to push me into leaving so he can play the victim when I finally snap and file for divorce. I didn't even have the energy to argue anymore. I just stood there, numb, while he continued talking. At one point, he even had the nerve to say, "I'm not perfect, but who is? You need to stop expecting a fairy tale." I couldn't take it anymore. I walked out, grabbed my car keys, and just drove. No destination, no plan. I just needed to get away from him, from everything. As I write this, I'm sitting in a diner at 2 a.m., staring at a cup of coffee that's gone cold. I don't know what's next. I feel like my entire life is unraveling, and I'm just trying to hold on to whatever pieces I can. The idea of divorce terrifies me, but staying feels like slow torture. I keep asking myself, is this really it? Is this how my marriage ends? I don't have answers. Not yet. Maybe I'll go through with counseling. Maybe I'll finally file those divorce papers. Maybe I'll keep driving and never look back. Final update. After that diner night, I came home around 4 a.m., hoping he'd be asleep, and I could sneak into the guest room without dealing with his self-righteous, holier-than-thou attitude. But nope, he was sitting on the couch, awake, scrolling through his phone like nothing happened. Cool as a cucumber, like our marriage wasn't hanging on by a thread. He looked up at me, gave me this half-smile, and said, "We need to talk." I swear, hearing those words in that tone made me want to scream. I told him there was nothing left to say, that I was done. Done with his gaslighting, done with his manipulative bull, done with pretending we could fix something this broken. His response? He laughed. It was this cold, mocking laugh, and I realized in that moment, this man has been playing me the whole time. "I knew you'd crack first," he said, and that's when it hit me. This whole, "let's go to counseling" act, the random suggestion of opening up our marriage, even his sudden focus on me needing help, was all some sick game to push me to the edge, so I'd be the one to call it quits. He wanted me to be the one to walk away, so he could paint himself as the poor, misunderstood husband whose crazy wife just couldn't let go of a little mistake. He'd probably already spun the narrative to our friends and family. I told him I was done playing his games. I said I was getting a lawyer, and he could go ahead and tell whatever twisted version of events he wanted. I wasn't staying married to a man who treated me like an object he could just discard when he felt like it. He shrugged, like he didn't care, but I could see something shift in his eyes. For the first time, I think he realized I was serious. Then, out of nowhere, he starts crying, like full-on, dramatic tears. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," he sobbed, grabbing at my arm. "I love you. I'm just so confused. I don't want to lose you." It was like watching a bad movie, and I couldn't even feel anything anymore. The tears, the apologies, it was all too little, too late. I pulled away, told him to stop with the theatrics, and went upstairs to pack a bag. I knew I couldn't stay in that house one more night. As I was stuffing clothes into my suitcase, he came into the room, still crying, and threw out his final Hail Mary. "If you leave, you're taking the kids from me, aren't you? You'll turn them against me. I won't let you do that. You'll regret it." I turned around, stared him down, and said, The only thing I regret is not leaving sooner. He lost it. He grabbed my suitcase and threw it across the room, shouting that I was destroying our family, that I was the one ruining everything. But I didn't back down. I told him I wasn't afraid of him anymore, and I wasn't going to stay and let him manipulate me into thinking this was my fault. Then he said the line that sealed the deal. "You're nothing without me." I walked right past him, grabbed my keys, and left the house. I didn't even look back. I'm currently staying with a friend, and I've already spoken to a lawyer. This time, there's no hesitation. I'm filing for divorce, and I'm not waiting around for his apologies or empty promises anymore.